couple of weeks ago, I did a video about my new scope of work and how that needs to be taken care of myself. And I think that's one of those things where it's like, I'm saying these words because duh, but it has taken some time for that to sort of settle into like, well, what does that reality look like? So, I feel so overwhelmed and so just everything's just it's just a lot, right? Like I finally read the whole binder, the whole binder of information that the Cancer Center gave me on page after page after page of like chemo side effects. And I only just read that this past weekend because I'm just like taking time for my brain to get around all of this. And I'm able to take a little bit more in, and I'm getting prepared for what all this means. And so anyway, I was thinking about work over even over these last few weeks has been challenging because everything is challenging. I'm like, I haven't even started chemo and I'm just like, I'm tired all the time. And I just feel like my body is sore and it's just like, ugh. So I just I'm not excited about anything. And it's just, that's hard, And so like still have some like calls and some things on my schedule and some things I really need to do. And I just kind of like about everything. But then what ends up happening every time is like once I'm like on the call, boom, like I'm there. My brain turns on, my heart pumps. I'm just like, I love what I do. I love being able to add value. I love being able to educate people. Now, definitely I'm at a lower energy level and lower focus level and everything than I normally show up on these calls. But I told one of my main work partners, I was like, you know me well enough to know that I'm an external processor, and a lot of times I do my best work just in conversation, brainstorming and coming up with things like in the moment. And the downside of that is that, well, then it's like taking up someone else's time as well, because but that's part of the value, is sort of the back and forth and kind of the creative process. And but it can also be time consuming if the only way I'm able to work is having someone else on, like actually scheduling a call. And that's what I told her. I was like, for me to be able to have much of any kind of productivity over the next, several months, it's probably going to be, we're going to have to get on the call. And once we get on the call and start talking about things, I'm there, right? Like I'll be able to snap into the mode where I need to offer the insight. Because there are certain things that I'm involved in that not only am I the consultant who's paid to do it, just because of my experience with some of these things, I'm one of the few people that exist that can really provide some of the insight and oversight that I can. The world will spin without me, right? Like we are all replaceable to some degree or another. And so I'm fortunate that some of these things I'm either able to say, look, I did a great job setting it all up. Now, like, fly, little birdie, like, you people can figure it out, like, because you need to figure it out anyway. But some of it, like, I was just on a call with a couple of people, one of my people, my main work partners, and then this other person who's going to kind of step in and fill the gap that I'm leaving in one of these projects. And I've realized over the last several days, more and more, I'm like, I have to lower my expectation and everyone else's expectation around what I'm going to be able to contribute in this project. And I was like, I feel so blessed that you are both really strong, capable, women that I trust with this project that's been really important to me. And like it gives me peace to be able to just kind of let it go. I mean, I'm still going to be involved in some ways, but I can, if my capacity is extremely diminished, I can just feel peace knowing that it's in good hands. And that's really a relief. That frees me up, and that's actually what one of them said, that's actually more important because it frees me up to be stronger, to be in a place of healing. So, I just think it's really interesting that I did this video on, my new SOW, but that's like a daily walking out kind of like thing. It just isn't like a switch that I can flip off. Because even when I feel like the switch is off, as soon as I get on some of these calls and I'm in these conversations, the switch is on. And I mean, I don't know, that's a good thing maybe, because it can keep my mind and my heart active. I don't want to be, I mean, I don't feel like I want to be completely checked out of all of this for the next how many ever months. But at the same time, I'm setting up a scenario where if I have to be, if I don't have a choice, then that's okay too. I'm coming to terms with that. And I'm trying to set up the system to work without me. But then also I've been very encouraged by just, realizing what will be waiting for me in 2027. So that's good too. But, it's interesting also because so many people have reached out and said, like, let's catch up. We haven't, like sent me their phone numbers, or like, we haven't talked in a long time. And I haven't had that many conversations because those kinds of conversations are a little more exhausting to me, which sounds really terrible because I love all these people. But my wiring is such that my strength, so with Strength Finders, my dominant theme is influencing, and my weakest theme is relationship building. So I always joke that means I want to tell you what to do, but I don't want to get to know you. But what it really means is I'm very good in these meetings where I can speak and add value and educate and guide and direct. And yes, there's conversation, and yes, I have relationships with a lot of these people I'm in calls with, but my role is often as an influencer, not in the social media influencer sense, but as, an influencing presence. But relationship building, my natural gut reaction to that is often a little bit more feels a little bit more like work. It feels a little more like it takes a little bit more out of me to do that. And so that's it. Another thing I'm trying to kind of grapple with, because I want to have conversations with all these wonderful people from my past and my life, and that they've offered their love and support and time to me. So it doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy the conversation. It just means that sometimes I have this resistance to getting on those kinds of calls. I think maybe just like the sort of social expectation. I don't know, maybe I feel confused or I don't know. I don't know the right word for it, but, if you've given me your number and you've asked for us to have a conversation, I will get around to it. I have a list of people. But it's weird how conversationally I can have two totally different experiences, right? I can show up to a conference call with 15 people and just add value, say things, or I can, get a text from someone or a call from someone and feel like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say. What do you want to hear? Like, that's why I can do this. This is why the videos are comforting and cathartic for me, because I'm used to doing webinars and doing, things where I'm like speaking out to audiences and there's not a conversation. But what I do love is how many people have messaged me and said that they've responded to something specific I said in a video, or they tell me they're watching them, and that makes me feel really loved and really connected to people. So it's kind of a weird thing. I think there's a lot about myself that I'm gonna learn more and evolve and grow in the coming months. But at the same time, it's okay if I just lay around and feel exhausted and just turn my brain off. Either way, I'm still me. It's still a heartbeat, still a good brain in here. Just got to let the body that those things sit inside of heal for a while.